straight, actually.
Perfect. So that was a really good one, Matt, just to talk about if we look at how the low point value completely changed, right? We saw with the irons to hit a straight 7-iron or hit that little fade 7-iron that you really liked, we needed that low point 4 or 5 inches out ahead of the golf ball. And here we're seeing with the driver that low point value at 2 inches behind the ball.
So we've gone from 5A to 2B.
Correct. So we've literally switched the low point of your golf swing by 7 inches here, going from that 7-iron to the driver. And this is something that, you know, hopefully the viewers understand, is that this is the problem that we all have in golf, is we have this angle of attack problem. We need to hit down on our iron shots, and we need to hit optimally maybe a little bit upward on our driver shots. And for a lot of players, we're going to see that number is probably close to 8 to 10 degrees difference. So that means that that shifts the whole kind of what we call the D plane around impact here. So when we look at this, we see the low point at 2 behind. We're hitting up on this ball 1.7 degrees. That netted out a path. Instead of moving the path more to the right, it actually moves it back to the left. So even though you swung 3.6 to the right, at impact, the face was, the center of the face was traveling 2.1 degrees in to out. Okay?
So for me to understand that in my little brain, the swing direction has now gone right, which has made the club path move left?
More left because we're hitting up on it.
So, and that's what flips it, right? Because if I'm hitting down on it like an iron, if the swing path is right, if I'm hitting down on it, the club path will be right. Because now we're hitting up at it, it flips it. Swing path being right makes club path go further left.
Right, we can see how confusing this can be, okay? But this is why we want to isolate this a little bit. This one feature about swing direction is swing direction is what we would classically call in to out or out to in, or let's say straight. That's what the player can kind of imagine that they're doing, okay? The actual path at the moment of contact, though, is maybe a little bit different value. So if I'm swinging, in this case, 3.6 to the right, and I hit up on the ball, that's actually bending the path a little bit back towards 0 at impact. And that's why the path number is less to the right than the swing direction number, okay? So an easy way to think of this is anytime we're hitting the ball first and then the ground, the path number is always going to be further right than the swing direction number. Anytime we're hitting up on the golf ball, okay, the path number is going to be further left than the swing direction value. So to hit a nice high draw like that last one, you can see that the swing direction was 3.6 to the right. The actual path was 2.1 to the right. Beautiful launch conditions, lots of speed, beautifully fit driver there, 1700 spin, 273 yard carry, 310 yard total. Now, what we do see with the swing plane value, that's an interesting number because we see tour average swing plane on a driver somewhere between 47 and about 51. Okay, a little bit wider range, because players are hitting more shots sometimes off the tee, but also, you know, the equipment themselves kind of dictates a little bit of that swing plane value. There's usually a little bit less adjustability on a driver in terms of lie angles than there are on irons. So sometimes when we see a player super shallow with their swing plane or super upright with the swing plane, sometimes they require some special hosels and so on to try and get the driver to fit a little bit better. Okay, but right around 50 degrees is actually excellent. Okay, so let's try and hit one more, and we'll hit a little bit of a cut shot on this one. Okay, so we'll kind of go back to your bread and butter little fade here.
Love it.
And see if we can produce that little bit of a fade. We'll look at the numbers on it.
So again, we want it to fade, but just hit one solid.
Just a normal solid fade here, left rough. Probably aim at the corner of the screen there, and aim a little bit left, I think, to be honest with you. There you go, that was really nice.
Yeah, that was solid. Oh, I turned it over.
Okay.
All right, good one, Mark.
Yeah, that was great though, it smoked it. That was good.
Your ball speed jumped up, I was like, ooh, that face went
That was hit hard. The ball speed jumped because the face was shut. Oh, man. And I said to myself, like, just square the face.
I think if you hit up on this a little bit and make your same view, you will square it up a little bit more.
Yeah, just move the ball up in your stance a fraction. That'll give you a little more time to square it, right?
See that nice high cut.
All right, coach. All right, coaches. I think I just shoved that into the weeds again. Oh, that's solid.
A
Okay.
little bit better shot there. There's our nice little cut there.
Okay.
So this is a great one to demonstrate because your swing direction there, okay, was actually 3 to the right. You hit up on the ball 2.3, which bent the path at impact to 0.9 degrees to the right. So technically you were a little bit inside. It was a slight inside cut, if you will. But what I really like about that one is we see how the swing plane value went from over 50 down to 47.8. And that signifies that you're ripping that pivot a little harder. You're not sort of, let's say, throwing the arms and the hands at it as much.
So that means the hands are lower?
Hands are lower and you're sort of pulling the club through and a little bit left with your hips as opposed to throwing it left with your arms or throwing it out to the right at all. So very nice little fade there. But we can see that when you hit up on that a little bit, what ended up happening is that bent the club path a little bit more to the left than the swing direction. So even though you swung 3 to the right, your path was only basically 1 to the right, and we hit a very straight little fade there. Very efficient numbers, 280 carry, 310 total. Very, very nice if you can hit that all day.
Yeah, I'll take that all day long.
All right.
I'll beat Mark if I do that.
Let's go.
All right, let's see if we can mark up there.
Some real speed.
We'll see some real speed.
Okay. We'll see.
You want to hit this one?
Not this one.
Triple black diamond.